life is very eventful. But I believe that there are events in life which shape your life. I belong to a city called Bareilly. I come from a small business family. So I was part of the family business, and I went for a function. Someone gave me a number. That number connected me to Mr. Nanda. He was looking at starting a model with Standard Chartered Bank of teleselling cards. He said, "Would you be interested?" I said, "Why not?" The following month I came to Dubai. We started on a good note, although it was an experimental model, left the bank's job to rejoin innovations to start the innovations mortgage business.
Once I am going for interview to Innovation Group, that first time I meet him over there. He's a very aggressive for the work, which is very good, which is also very good.
So eventually I decided, let's do business. At that time I was exploring 3 different businesses. I had zeroed down to getting into the medical industry. Other was an insurance broking business. And third was a company called Gopinath. And I happened to present them to Mr. Nanda. I said, look, I don't have the money. I can do small things myself because that's the money I had. If Gopinath looks interesting, why don't we look at it? We got into Gopinath. I moved into Gopinath end of 2014. So 2015 was the honeymoon period.
To build a name or something will take over the years. And if you have to grow in particular segment, if you have a already built name, you pay a goodwill for that and acquire those companies, make your business, you don't have to start from the scratch. You already have a platform, you work from the platform and grow from there.
2016 started the difficulty because you started seeing, okay, as long as we were pumping the money, the business was doing well, it was growing, the opportunities were there. But in 16 we realized, no, the money is not coming back. I still remember that meeting with Mr. Nanda and he said, never mind, it's a learning, we made a mistake together. Let's make a bigger mistake next time. But the key question is, how do we move out of it now? So then the journey of rebuilding the Gopinath story started from 2017, wherein I cut out the civil contracting business completely. From there, we exited the loss-making business and established the decorative business, painting business, which is painting of buildings. A big event changed for me in 2017 beginning when I joined BNI. There was a gentleman by the name of Agarwal, and he introduced me to BNI. And I found it very interesting because when I entered the room, I was new to business, and my biggest challenge was getting credible suppliers, dependable people who I could talk to, share my experience and thoughts, and just get feedback because everybody in Gopinath was my employee.
The first time, after me attending the meeting, as you know, the BNI policy, president asked, how was the meeting? He said, I've not just come for a business. In fact, I can see a lot of my vendors. In fact, I'm ready to give the business rather than taking the business. So we realized that, first time somebody talking about giving the business rather than taking the business. So we were really impressed, and he said that immediately after attending the meeting, I'm signing the check, I'm joining the BNI.
Nitin have been helpful for people. He's very passionate. He loved growing. I have been telling him to slow down, but he's somebody who cannot stop.
In fact, Nitin was one of those very few members, I think, who came into the LT of Synergy. I think the first year or maybe immediately after the first year. And in fact, I was also part of that LT. Like I was a VP, he was the ST. And at that time, Synergy was going through a crisis where we were having a lot of drop in members. I think at that time we were 28 and we had a target of going to 40 in that 6-month or a year period. I think it was a 6-month period. And in fact, we achieved it. Then anyways, unfortunately, he had to leave Synergy in between because he was getting preoccupied with his day-to-day work in the office. So he then migrated into the hybrid chapter. Yeah, but his journey has been phenomenal from the time he joined till now.
I've always feared something like this would happen to me. But when it happened to me, I'm happy that my friends of BNI were there. So we had a social of BNI givers wherein we were all going for paintball. And during the session, I experienced certain chest pain. Nirav Bhai said, let's go to the doctor.
They took him into the ambulance and did complete tests on him. And once the tests were done, it was declared that we need to rush him to the hospital. And soon enough, we were told that he has had a heart attack and he needs to go through a surgery.
I think Hitesh went in the ambulance along with Nitin. Myself, Nirav, Akash, I think Anuradha was there as well. We gave the consent. Hitesh is the one who gave the consent for the surgery because Nitin's wife was not there at that point in time.
I think our relationship goes past BNI at this point, or whatever forum we met at first. Few of us have become brothers. So it never even actually crossed my mind whether I should sign the consent form or no. It was just one of those things where we were so concerned at that point where whatever was required, even if they required me to put down a guarantee check, I would have done it. Because A, I know he's good for the money, and B, he's a brother.
So by the time I reached the hospital, all the tests were done. Doctor has taken the decision that they will do the angioplasty and everything was done. All the decisions were there. But the BNI members, all of them were there. They were there beside me and they were there for us. So it's a big thing. And the following day when Pankaj and Shelly visited us, I told him on his face, I was always cribbing about BNI that it is taking a lot of time. But now I realized I have extended family because these guys, they were there, because of their experience, because of their presence of mind, they took that decision.
That entire experience of being in a situation like that tells you that BNI is not about business. All these are members for me from BNI givers. And all of them, I have a relationship for less than probably 8 or 9 months. But the depth in that relationship is so strong. So for me, BNI has been a big changer and driver of life, and literally.